today's video, we are going to be driving the unreleased ACURA NSX coming to Greenville. Obviously, this thing is 100% fictional, but it has been super hyped up recently, so I cannot wait to review it for you guys. Anyway, so before we get into today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 21.6k subscribers, so it would be greatly appreciated. And for those of you guys who would like to join my Discord server, that is in the description below as always. For those of you guys who would like to stay up to date with all of my future content and all of Greenville and Southwest Florida's update information. Also, there's actually an interesting twist to today's video, since while reviewing this car, I'm actually going to be using a wheel. In specific, I'm actually going to be using the Camus C5, which is a direct drive racing wheel for those of you guys who do not know. And huge shout out to Camus for sending me this out for today. For those of you guys who didn't see my last video that I made on this thing, once again, it is completely direct drive, which means the motor is in the back of the wheel, and it doesn't use any belts or gears, so it is extremely smooth. And all in all, it is an awesome wheel. If you guys would like to get a discount on this thing, make sure to use code SHARD in the description below. And there's also a giveaway link that will be ending soon, so make sure to enter that while you still can. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so first up here, I am going to be looking at some of the visual differences between the trims. Obviously, I could miss out on some things, however, for the most part, these are going to be the main ones. So first of all, as for the engine bays, the models on them aren't actually really different at all. However, a big difference is that if we go all the way to the left, on the base trim, there is no sort of wing or lip or anything like that. But as we go up the trims, you guys can see that they get lips. And then the very last trim actually has a wing, which looks super cool. Obviously, this trim as well has some extra sporty detailing to it as well, such as on the roof, and some other minor stuff as well. Also, some of them have a blacked out front area, whereas others don't. Additionally, on the two base trims, they actually have silver logos, whereas the two higher up trims actually have blacked out logos. Same as for the mirrors as well, which these ones are actually carbon fiber too, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, I'd say that for the most part, those are the really observable differences between all of these trims. So I mean, it definitely isn't really anything crazy per se, but it's still good to point them out regardless. Alright, so now I'm actually going to get into driving these vehicles, and as I stated just before, I am only going to be reviewing one from each trim set, since they do have the same performance. So I'm going to be reviewing one of the Techno trims, and then I will review one of the Spec T trims, since yeah, they do have the same performance as each other, so it's pretty much just visual differences, to be honest, between both the Spec Ts and both the Technos. Anyway, starting off here, I'm going to be reviewing the Techno carbon package. This thing looks pretty sporty, despite it being one of the base trims, which is good. So beginning with the startup sound. Dude, that is actually really good. Alright, sounds very, very sporty, as you guys can hear. Then let's do a little rev test. Okay, so it doesn't spit flames, but it does make turbo. It's actually a very nice sounding rev. And then we got the brake lights right here, and also the headlights, as you guys can see, very, very clean. Then we got the front blinkers right here, very, very nice. And the tail light blinkers, once again, very good. Also, I really like that blinker like click sound as well. It's actually very unique in my opinion. Definitely some really good sounds on this thing so far. And also the horn right here. Pretty good. All in all, not really anything to complain about. Anyways, though, getting into driving this thing, which as I pointed out earlier, I am actually using my wheel here to drive this thing, and it's pretty interesting because I've never really driven an unreleased car with a wheel before. Obviously, though, it is going to be a lot smoother of a driving experience than usual. Going out of the dealership here, though, I can say it's definitely a pretty sporty feeling so far. Obviously, it's got those sporty looks, which is good. And yeah, I mean, it definitely seems to have some good power on it, which is definitely good to see. I will say it is a bit hard to control this thing only using one hand on the wheel here, but it should be alright. Anyways, just cruising down the main road right here. As you guys can see, it actually climbs very quick too. Very, very curious to see what the top speed on this thing is if I don't crash it. And it actually looks like I popped a tire on this, which isn't really the best. Alright, thankfully I do have some backup vehicles right here, so that isn't the end of the world. Yeah, definitely very interesting driving this thing with a wheel though. So yeah, all in all, very cool experience right here. But anyways, let's try this for a second time. So yeah, once again, very, very sporty design right here. I honestly really rock with this. Also, the front of the vehicle too is awesome, dude. It's going to be interesting to see if I'll successfully be able to do like a top speed test and whatnot with this wheel, since you know that is quite a big challenge. All right, heading into the 0 to 60 test here, let's see if I can actually more or less like decently launch this thing here with the wheel. So in 3 2 1 go. All right, very strong launch right there. Very hard to control this thing, I have to say, but we are already at 60 miles per hour. That was very quick. I couldn't even see how long that took. I don't really think it took long at all, though. Anyways, I'm just going to continue pushing this thing up to top speed right here. All right, what do we have? What do we have? We have 184 miles per hour at the top speed there. That is not bad whatsoever. That's actually very, very respectable. Honestly, huge W right there. That's not even the top trim as well. Keep in mind, like, this is literally one of the base trims of the vehicle, so having a top speed that high is actually crazy for that. Once again, I don't know how expensive this vehicle is going to be, but regardless, man. Considering that I don't think this thing will be like too overpriced for most people, this is actually a crazy good top speed for that. And I'm actually kind of popping off here with the wheel, dude. I honestly thought I would have crashed by now, but I probably want to brake before I get up to the roundabout. This thing also has very great handling while it's braking as well. It's not like one of those cars where, you know, you slam the brakes and you just go sliding everywhere. Like, it's actually got some very good traction. Alright, so the Techno trim seems to have some very good performance, which I am thoroughly surprised by, I have to say. You know, I definitely didn't expect the base trims to have that good performance. And I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna be 100% real here, if you are on a tight budget, then honestly, just go for the base Techno trim, since, you know, this thing will quite literally give you the same performance as the other one anyway, so it's not really worth spending the extra amount unless you actually do have the money for it, or if you just like having a car with better visual aesthetics. Even then though, this trim still looks pretty awesome in my opinion, so you know. And even then, some of you guys might actually prefer having a sleeker looking trim, so I mean, this could definitely be the one for you guys. Anyways, now we are moving on to the Spec T track package trim, which once again has the same performance as the Spec T trim right here in blue. So essentially, for those of you guys who would like either one of these trims, the performance on this vehicle will be the same. So I mean, as for my initial observations at least, it's pretty undeniable that, you know, this thing does look a lot sportier. I mean, not only does it have a massive wing on it, but I mean, even the front end and stuff as well just looks awesome. Very, very cool looking vehicle right here. I'm assuming this will be probably quite a lot more expensive than the base trim, if I had to guess myself at least. But yeah, all in all, seems to be pretty solid so far. Once again, dude, driving with the wheel here is actually super sick. It's so smooth compared to keyboard and mouse, especially with it being direct drive as well, so it's not super loud 24/7. Yeah, all in all, seems to be actually very smooth driving once again. Very similar driving experience to the last trim I reviewed. Obviously though, it does just look a lot more, you know, sporty, which won't be for everyone. However, to be fair, if you are getting a vehicle like this, you may as well just go all in, honestly, since, you know, you're obviously wanting a sportier vehicle anyways. So heading straight in here with the 0 to 60 test in 3, 2, 1, go. Very good launch there, as the last trim was as well, and we are already at 60 miles per hour, which is great. And I'm just going to push it straight to top speed here. I really hope the top speed is higher than the base trims. It would be kind of upsetting if it's not. I'm pretty sure that it is actually meant to be, so if it's not here, and actually no, it is. Okay, we got 193 miles per hour. Alright, so I don't know if the performance is going to be adjusted once this thing actually releases in the game, but I mean, it is a little bit faster than the base trims, about 10 miles per hour faster, give or take, which, don't get me wrong, is actually a pretty good, you know, buff right there. But I mean, depending on how much more expensive this thing is than the base trims, I don't know how worth it it'll actually be getting this, and it'll probably more just be like a visual aesthetics thing. However, then again, they could always just change the performance on this thing in future, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, I guess. Once again as well, even at like very high speeds right here, as you guys can see, if I just slam on the brakes, we don't really go like sliding anywhere like crazy. It's actually very, very solid right here. And I mean, I'm literally driving this thing with a wheel with one hand, and I'm still able to control this thing very good. So I mean, that kind of just shows. I have to say though, I really love how this thing looks. It's definitely one of the best looking fictional sports cars in the game right now, in my opinion, or at least I guess not in the game right now, but out of what will be in the game when the update comes out. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you did all enjoy it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on the new NSX are in the comments below. And additionally, for those of you guys who liked the wheel that I was using, once again, make sure to go check that out in the description below and use my code if you guys would like to purchase it for yourselves, and you will get a little bit of a discount. So I think it was definitely pretty interesting actually using a wheel, you know, driving around an unreleased car this time. It's something that I've never done before, so it was pretty cool. And let me know if you guys would like to see more wheel content as well. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 21.6k subscribers, so it would be greatly appreciated. And as always, my Discord server is in the description below for those of you guys who would like to stay up to date with all my future content and all of Greenville and Southwest Florida's update information. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.